He lost his freedom to protect a lie until the lie recorded itself. Narrator, calm but heavy. Before this story begins, I want you to take a deep breath and imagine this. You wake up one morning, and everything you believe in, justice, fairness, the truth, crumbles before your eyes. If stories like this move you, if you believe that the truth deserves a voice, then don't just scroll past. Pushpin, click that subscribe button right now and join Wealth and Wounds, a channel that speaks truth through pain and power. The morning sun spilled over the rooftops of Marion County, a quiet, middle American town that wore a mask of peace but hid decades of buried truths. Detective Kyle Brennan, a 20-year veteran of the Marion Police Department, sat in his cruiser sipping black coffee. To the world, he was a hero, the man who cleaned up the city's drug problem. But behind his piercing blue eyes was something darker, something he'd buried deep. 2 blocks away, Darius Cole, a 24-year-old construction worker, tightened his boots outside a job site. He was the kind of young man everyone underestimated, quiet, steady, with calloused hands that had built half the homes in the neighborhood. He lived for his family, his mother, Miss Yvette, a church choir singer who'd raised him alone, and his little sister Keisha, a freshman in high school. But on this day, November 14th, 2023, Darius's name was about to become the latest headline in a town that had learned to stay silent. It started with a tip. A concerned citizen called in a report of a tall black male matching Darius's description seen exchanging something suspicious behind a grocery store. Minutes later, 4 cruisers boxed him in. Officer Ramirez shouted, "Hands where I can see 'em." Darius froze. What's going on? He had no idea that his quiet morning would turn into a storm. They dragged him out, slammed him against his own work truck, and within seconds, his world blurred into flashing lights, confusion, and the sound of his mother's voice crying out as she ran down the street. "My baby didn't do nothing." But the evidence said otherwise. Inside his tool bag, a small bag of white powder. He swore it wasn't his. They didn't believe him. What no one saw, except one man, was who really put that bag there. Detective Kyle Brennan. And when the cuffs clicked shut, a small recording device, hidden deep inside Brennan's jacket, captured the entire thing. A recording he didn't know was running. Days turned to weeks. The county courthouse echoed with the sound of pleas and verdicts. Prosecutor Linda Voss, ambitious, cold, and hungry for her next political win, stood tall before the jury. "Ladies and gentlemen, this man is part of a network destroying our community. We will not stand for it." Darius's public defender barely looked up. He'd seen this play before. Within hours, the jury returned with their verdict. Guilty. 25 years in state prison. And just like that, another number entered the system. Soft piano fades back in. "This is America," Miss Yvette whispered, watching her son led away. "A place where truth don't matter unless it comes from the right mouth." 3 years passed. Detective Brennan couldn't sleep. His conscience gnawed at him. The tape, that one tape, haunted him. He'd been ordered to plant evidence by a superior years ago. But when he realized how far the rot went, how hundreds of arrests were based on fabricated tips and planted evidence, he knew the truth couldn't stay buried forever. Late one night, he opened his safe. Inside was a single USB drive labeled "The Truth." He clicked play. His own voice filled the room. "Yeah, I put it there. Boss said we needed another win." His breath caught. He poured himself a drink. Then another. He stared at the drive and whispered, "What have I done?" Narrator, emotional. Before we continue, if you're watching this and your heart's racing, if you've ever seen someone punished for what they didn't do, then you know how deep this goes. Bullseye, hit subscribe right now so you never miss stories that reveal what others hide. Join Wealth and Wounds, where truth meets storytelling. Detective Brennan couldn't take it anymore. He met secretly with Leah Jackson, an investigative journalist from the Baltimore Chronicle. They met in a diner at 2 a.m. Leah pressed record on her phone. "So, what are you saying, detective?" "I'm saying the system's rigged. From the lab reports to the court files. I have proof." The story dropped 2 weeks later. Headline: Leaked recordings suggest police fabricated evidence in over 300 cases. It broke the internet. Protests erupted. The county tried to silence it, but the fire had already started. Behind bars, Darius heard his name on the news for the first time, not as a criminal, but as a victim. He smiled faintly. Maybe this time, Somebody's listening. But truth comes with a price. Detective Brennan's home was vandalized. His badge revoked. The department painted him as a rogue cop. And worse, his former partners turned on him. Meanwhile, Darius's appeal was under review, but months dragged on with no progress. Leah, the journalist, began receiving anonymous threats. Drop the story or you'll regret it. Still, she pushed forward, determined to free every man who'd been wronged. Then one night, as she was editing new footage, her screen went black. Her computer files, all wiped clean. The truth, once again, was under attack. It all came to a head when Leah arranged a live interview with Brennan on a local network. But as they pulled into the studio parking lot, flashing lights surrounded them. 2 unmarked black SUVs. Federal officers stepped out. "Detective Brennan, you're under arrest for tampering with evidence." "You mean exposing it?" he spat back. In the chaos, Leah's cameraman kept rolling, capturing every second. That video, leaked online hours later, shattered the country. The truth was undeniable. A month later, Darius's case was reopened. His mother held her breath as the judge spoke. "Mr. Cole, based on newly uncovered evidence, this court finds you are not guilty." Tears streamed down her face. But as Darius stepped out of the courthouse, a car idled nearby. Inside, an older man watched quietly, the chief of police. He picked up his phone. "It's done. But we are not finished yet." Cut to black. Narrator, somber but powerful. If you made it this far, you know stories like this are more than fiction, they're reflection. We can't stay silent. So before you leave, like, comment, share, and subscribe to Wealth and Wounds. Because every click, every voice, every viewer keeps stories like this alive.